We're back at it with Halloween 2, 1981. Is this the best sequel in the Halloween franchise? Is it the best horror sequel ever made? I don't know, but I do have 10 burning questions I want to talk about.
If you like horror, hit that notification bell, smash that like button, and push that subscribe button now.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Nick Push. Thanks for tuning in. We're continuing with my 10 burning questions videos. We did Halloween 1978 yesterday. We're continuing on with Halloween 2 as we go throughout the franchise. And yeah, I just want to get my thoughts out there. 10 questions I have while watching this movie. Most of them are serious. There's a couple fun ones in here as well. But I want to know in the comments what you guys think of what you guys think are the answers to these questions, and if you have any questions yourself. And once again, guys, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for supporting the channel, and I hope you're having a great October. All right, let's get right into it. Question number 1: was the hospital a great location? Now, this is all up to kind of your taste, right? Me personally, I'm terrified of hospitals, and maybe it stems from this movie, seeing it at an early age. So many great shots of Michael, hiding, not even hiding, but just kind of hiding in plain sight, basically, in the hospital, walking down the empty hospital hallways. So many great shots, and a lot of that is owed to Dean Cundy. But yeah, I think it's a great location. I really, really do. But there's an argument to be made, and I've heard this argument that it's kind of wasted potential because Michael's just in the hospital the whole time, right? And what would it be like if it was like at the beginning of the movie when he's going through these back alleys the whole time? That would be cool, right? So let me know. Do you guys think the hospital is a great location for a Halloween sequel? Question number 2 that I have: did Loomis blow up all those goddamn babies? We know at the end, it's time. Michael takes the lighter, boom, room blows up, hospital blows up, right? Part of the hospital, at least, right? We also know that in, I think is the basement, there are about 30 babies, newborn babies there. I assume they have mothers there too, but who the hell knows? Did Dr. Loomis blow up these babies? Did he kill more people than Michael Myers that night? What do you guys think? Are those babies still alive? Hey. Maybe that is a sequel idea. Maybe one of these babies saw all the other babies blow up. This one survived, somehow remembers it, and is hunting Myers down 3 years from now in 2027. And it's, 46 years later. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of that idea? Stupid? I know, but could be fun too. Certainly not any more stupid than some of the other Easter eggs and legacy characters we had show up in like Halloween Kills or something. All right, question number 3. Why didn't Michael kill the Elrods? So we know at the beginning of the movie, Michael goes into the Elrod's house. He takes the knife. He thinks about chomping on some ham that Mrs. Elrod is making for her sleeping husband as he watches, is it Night of the Living Dead? But anyway, why didn't Michael kill them? We get that great shot of him standing in the background. He goes and kills Alice next door. Now, maybe it's because, at this point in time, he was only killing, teenagers, right? Or teenage girls or anyone else who got in his way. Later that night, he obviously kills adults at the hospital. But, maybe he just wanted a fresh, young victim. I don't know. But why do you guys think he didn't kill the Elrods? Maybe he took a bite of the sandwich or the ham that was there and thought it was too good to take out Miss Elrod. I don't know. But I've always wondered why he didn't just kill them. Question 4. I want to know in the comments, guys. This is a very serious question. Should Mr. Garrett have had Nurse Karen's death in the hot tub? That's right. I'm talking Mr. Garrett, topless. Maybe, he's not, there with Bud. Maybe he's there with, one of the other nurses. And the other nurse goes and, gets killed in the background while turning the temperature down. And then Michael, burns Mr. Garrett, and we see his big male titties flopping around. What do you guys think of that? It's a question I had while watching this movie. Obviously having some fun. Question number 5. Oops, kicking stuff here. Getting excited. Question number 5. Why Mr. Sandman? So we know this movie opens up with Mr. Sandman, and it closes with Mr. Sandman, right? So the question is, why that song? Especially like Carpenter, and I know he didn't direct this movie, right? But Carpenter had all his own music for the original Halloween. And then he brings on Alan Howarth, right? And they come up with a great rendition for Halloween 2. You know, you get the synth and all kinds of shit. I love the soundtrack and the score to Halloween 2. But why Mr. Sandman? I'm assuming there's some symbolism here, right? Or, you know, you open up with a calm yet positive song and close with that. And there's kind of is the juxtaposition of that compared to the horrors that are happening in this movie. I don't know. But I always wondered, why Mr. Sandman? If you guys have an answer to that in the comments, let me know. All right, number 6. We're halfway through. How did Michael know how to drain Nurse Alv's blood? How did he know that? I couldn't do that. Could you guys do that? How did Michael Myers, who's never really been at school, right? How didn't he know how to do that? Evil, Nick, right? It's fucking evil. He's evil. You know, stop looking at shit so seriously, Nick, right? Yeah, but, I mean, that's a pretty complicated, that is a pretty complicated procedure, and Michael did it very well, obviously. Maybe the person who taught him how to drive also gave him lessons on how to drain blood. I don't know, but I always wondered that. Speaking of teaching Michael things, who taught Michael about Samhain? Or, I'm sorry, Sam Hain. I know it's pronounced Samhain, but they pronounce it Sam Hain in this movie. But who taught Michael all about that? You know, was it Thorne? Obviously not, because it wasn't around in this movie, right? So how did Michael know how to write Sam Hain or Samhain on the school chalkboard after he, you know, stabbed a picture of someone's sister and wrote sister or whatever? So who taught him that? Was it the same person who taught him how to drive? Same person who taught him how to drain blood? Dr. Wynn? I don't know. But I always wondered how Michael knew about Samhain. Now, maybe it's his inner calling, right? Because he killed people on Halloween when he was 6 years old. And then, 15 years later, Halloween is his trigger again. I get all that. But I always wondered who taught him that. It's always a question I had. Number 8. This is a good one. Is Loomis's speech in the marshal's car underrated? I think yes, but I want to know your guys' thoughts on this. You know, obviously, with good reason, we always remember the Devil's Eyes monologue from the beginning. He's got a lot of little moments, bits and piece moments with like Hunt at the Myers house in Halloween 2 and all kinds of different things. But his speech in the marshal's car is great. You know, when he's talking about Sam Hain, you know, Marion Chambers is trying to tell him about the sister angle, right? God. But Loomis starts talking. He interrupts her. And he's like, saw that on the chalkboard, right? And he's talking about, ancient rituals. People were burned alive. And then he says, Sam Hain isn't witches or goblins or ghouls or whatever he says. It's the unconscious mind. We're all afraid of the darkness within or inside ourselves. That is fucking gold, and I think it gets overlooked by all his other speeches. His fieriness in Halloween 4, even his "Burn in Hell." I prayed he'd burn in hell line from Halloween 5. I think it's talked about more than this speech in the marshal's car. I think it's super underrated, and it's a great speech. So I always wondered if people agree with me that wondering if this speech is underrated. Number 9. Who's the best character on the hospital staff? One of the nice things about Halloween 2 is we get this nice cast of characters, this hospital staff. But who is the best character? Is it Bud? He's certainly memorable, smoking weed in the lobby. Mr. Garrett, he might have been the best character if he got that hot tub scene I was talking about earlier. Nurse Alves is a great character. She's a no-nonsense person, but she's a really good nurse. Mixter, the drunk doctor. Karen, who has her flaws, and she's got a couple of reasons that a lot of people would probably choose her to be the best character. Jimmy loves his Coke, but which of the characters in the hospital staff is the best character? I think there's a lot of good ones to choose from. And finally, number 10, where else did Hunt look for Michael? After Loomis gets taken away by the marshal on the governor's orders. The governor! Hunt says to Loomis, we'll find him. And Loomis says, where are you going to look? He goes, I don't know. Loomis says, I don't either. So the question is, between then and when, Loomis blew up the hospital and the sun started coming up, where did Hunt look for Myers? Was he looking just in backyards the whole time? Everybody goes back out. They were already saw, there was a break-in at the school that they're pretty sure was him. Where else did he check? Other schools? Grocery stores? Where else was he looking for Myers? So I always wondered, it'd be cool if if it cut back to, before it goes to back to the hospital, after Loomis's speech in the marshal's car and after he fires the warning shot, if it cuts back to Hunt and maybe Hunt is, looking for Myers somewhere else and we get some interesting scene there. Although, there'd be no suspense because we already know where Myers is. We know he's at the hospital. So I don't know. I always wondered where else Hunt looked for Michael. So those are my 10 burning questions for Halloween 2, 1981. I fucking love this movie. I'm not going to lie. I think it's hands down the best sequel in the franchise. And I don't think anything else is particularly close in the franchise to being the best sequel like this one. So I love this movie. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Thanks for watching and happy October.